Welcome to Scrivo vs. the World. I'm your host Scrivo. In this first episode of the show, I'll explain what is the WTC, its history, and why I feel it's important enough to get its own running series on the channel. What is the WTC? The WTC, or World Team Championship, is an annual team tournament launched in 2020 and first run in 2021. Originally, it was one of the many game systems played at the ETC, which was the European Team Championships, which from 2006, starting with 10 nations, grew to 36 nations represented in 2019. Why teams? Singles in Warhammer 40,000 can be decided by so many external variables that aren't easily controlled, such as win path if pairings are done randomly. The teams format changes this. Players are paired into the opposing team with the dynamic of a pairings process. You build your lists and aim to pair them into good matchups to maximise your team's points. In the next video, I'll run through the pairings process and how it works. Team scoring. Even losing a game can matter. Teams events use a differential scoring system. For example, every 5 points you beat your opponent's score can swing your score from a 10-10 draw all the way up to a 20-0 win. This means if your list goes into an army that has the goal of scoring 20-0 where possible, you could tie that up and force it to be a 10-10, a 12-8, or even something like an 18-2. That still helps. That could make a difference to the overall round score for your team. So for example, at the WTC 2023, if a team scored over 86 points across the 8 games that were played in a round, they won. But if it was 75 to 85 points, it was a tie, and if it was less than 75, they lost. So if you scraped those 2 points against something that should have been getting a 20-0, you could be holding up that round win for them. So every point in the game matters, even if you're on the back foot. International teams. Teams from 36 countries in 2023 attended, with newcomers from Cyprus, New Zealand and South Africa getting their first caps. Those 8 players and the support team are selected from the national community. I'll go into this process a little bit in a future video as well, with the goal of taking the best and most driven players with the support from equally well-versed in the game support staff, such as coaches that will specialise in pairings, list building, or even just someone that look after the team and make sure they're fed and watered during games, because we know wargamers don't always stay hydrated. Why the WTC? Despite coverage from the fantastic Wargames Live, French Wargames and Contact Loss, I feel there's so much work to get the community engaged into the teams format and the WTC as a whole. So hopefully my videos explaining the process, updates throughout the season as we go into WTC 2024, and interviewing players and coaches will create that excitement that I felt myself last year. Thank you for watching, and let me know in the comments if you've got any feedback of things you'd like to see, things you'd like to understand in a better manner, and anything that I think I could improve. Cheers guys!